All right, guys, out at the range, Canik METE MC9. Just couldn't wait to get this thing out to the range. As I mentioned in the tabletop, I am super stoked about this gun. As many guns as Trey and I buy and review, very, very seldom are we impressed or stoked about a gun. I'm so stoked, in fact, that I've already went out and purchased my size 4 Versa Carry leather lined holster I carry outside the waist. I'm not a huge fan of inside the waistband or Kydex holsters. I'm not really a big fan of the holster that comes with the gun. But we're just going to put some rounds down range today. I will say that we've had some folks mention, oh, we could do better by shooting at paper, getting on target a little better. Well, those things cost money. We bought these steel targets. They're 8-inch plates. We usually try to white out about a 4-inch circle in the center of that plate, and we could just simply spray paint it with a $1.50 can of spray paint and just continue to reuse the target. Paper targets cost money. My personal opinion is if I can hit a 4-inch circle at 15 yards where we're standing here, that's all I need to do. That's accurate enough for me. Again, Canik METE MC9 out at the range. I am going to shoot with the Hollison optic. I'm going to shoot with it first. I don't know if it's on target yet or not. I just kind of lined it up with the front sight, giving that it is co-witness. I'm going to put the first couple of magazines through this thing with the optic or using the optic. Then I'm going to turn it off and just use the iron sights. Again, we're here at about 15 yards. First shots with the Canik METE MC9. Very accurate, as you would expect with, using an optic. You get the optic on. That's why we always try to shoot it with the steel, because not everybody's going to put an optic on their gun. I'm going to put this other magazine through it, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I think so far. Of course, it hasn't had any failures yet. I would miss the last shot. Okay, so it is compact. It is a compact, and I remember with the TP9 SC, I did not shoot that well with it. It was one of the very few Caniks that I didn't shoot well with. Now, I had a couple of people getting very, very upset with me saying, I went out and I put 150 rounds through my Canik. I don't know what your beef is with the loaded chamber indicator. Mine didn't have nothing on it. I don't know if that'll pick up for camera, but I put 2 magazines through it, and it's already just inundated with splatters of oil, and I don't know, maybe it won't pick up on camera, but
it did partially.
It's already just blasted with whatever oil. I haven't cleaned this gun, so it's whatever it came in it. And yeah, it's definitely going to get dirty. I don't care what anybody says. They just didn't like the fact that I talked smack about the loaded chamber indicator. They didn't want me to talk any smack whatsoever about their precious, loved firearm. But a loaded chamber indicator on an optic ready gun is an absolute joke, and I wish people would stop doing it. One cool thing about this is, yes, I do have an SFX magazine here, 18 rounds that will fit in there, and it may or may not function. I'm not totally sure. but I was cycling them at home and it seemed to be working fine. So before I talk any more about it, I just want to see if I can put some down range and function. And it locked back. So you can use the SFX magazine, probably any Canik magazine if I'm being honest. I think they're all the same. But as you can see, it functioned fine, it locked back. And it's just always been amazing to me, even in this small of a platform now on the Rival Pro. Of course, you would expect with the larger gun, less recoil, to be able to stay on target. But even with this small footprint here, you're expecting it to be more snappy than it would be with a larger gun, that maybe it would be harder to stay on target. But I don't know if you could hear from the dinging, I certainly was not shooting slow, and only one or two got off of that 8-inch target at 15 yards with a gun this small. So the recoil compared to most subcompact or micro compact offerings, 365, 43, 43X, Hellcat, to me anyway, I don't have those guns here to compare them to, but I have shot those guns. This gun seems to control the recoil, or manage the recoil if you will, way better than those guns did. I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna load back up, I'm gonna shoot with just the iron sights here, but I do want to mention that I don't really have any problems per se, but for some reason, I don't know what it is yet, I haven't quite figured it out. It's not a huge deal, but something in that trigger is biting my finger. Maybe it's just, I don't know what it is yet. I just wanted to get those first shots through, be sure that my optic was on. Maybe we'll try to focus a little bit more on what that is. Again, it's not a deal breaker. Very first shots haven't been clean. That was a 15 and a 12 and an 18. I don't know what that math is, but that's how many we've put through it. And it's been flawless, as you would expect from Canik. So let's get it loaded up. Maybe we'll let Trey shoot it a little bit, see what he thinks about it. Ain't gonna do us much good to paint that target. Freezing cold and the paint won't stick.
I mean, it's already recording. I ain't totally sure what you're doing, but you know.
I'll tell you in just a second, but let's shoot first. Well, definitely the most accurate I've ever shot with any subcompact I've ever handled.
Well,
One thing's for sure, it is a very tight gun. Putting that magazine in, I remembered you mentioning on the tabletop how the mags would just pop out, but I don't think they're really popping out that well today. Maybe because it's so cold out and the plastic's contracting. I don't know. Let's put some more down range. I hit like every shot, so that's good.
well, you didn't, but
No, so I think that overall, what I think about it, first initial thought, this is my first time that I've ever shot this gun. I really like it. I like the way that it handles recoil. I like the way that it feels in my hand, and I like that classic Canik trigger. It's not that new flat face trigger that you find on the Rivals. It's more one of those older kind of curvature styles with that inner red marker in it, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, I think it handled recoil really well for a micro compact 9mm. I really enjoyed it. I think that Hollison is definitely on point, pretty accurate with it if I do say so myself.
Well, let's load up and shoot a little bit with the iron sight.
I think what happens is that when Trey wishes that he had a gun and he don't have it, he immediately wants to maybe try to find a little something that maybe, even if it's not true, even if it's fake news, he wants to find a little something wrong. I mean, he ain't wrong. I mean, it is, you know, on the camera. The magazine was dropping loose, and as you can see here. And again, it is about 26, 27 degrees. Show him your heater, Trey. You got a little heater there.
Well, this was one that you positioned over here. I was actually heating up with it in this spot right here, and then he came by and he snagged it and ran off with it.
Well, I had the camera, so I didn't want to shake, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it probably does have something to do when I was doing the tabletop, I was sitting in the direct sun, and it was like 63 degrees outside, so probably does make a difference. But as you can see, you know, I do have to pull it out today. But does it cold, like
contract
things?
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I was saying.
I mean, I'm sure that's what it is, you know. But I'm gonna turn the Hollison off here, and because I said I would, and we're going to try to use just the iron sights here.
Well, while you're doing that, let me just tell them real quick that I wanted that gun. I really did. Actually, when you sent me that, you know, that they were coming out with it, I was very excited about it. I was like, dude, I'm going to go get one. I'm going to sell something. I'm going to go get one. This gun is actually the very first gun that he has gotten and not sent me a picture of or told me, like, dude, you're never going to guess what I got. No, I found out he got it from a Facebook post that he put up on our channel, which if you guys hadn't looked at yet, go check it out. But that's how I found out he had bought it.
That was intentional.
That was dirty. That was dirty.
You know?
He didn't even say, like, hint, hint, check it out. Like, nah.
All right. Let's see. 15 yards, 8-inch steel plate down there. I'm going to try to shoot with just these iron sights, you know. Sorry, I do have a little bit of a shake, but it is cold. Definitely not as good with the irons as I was with the optic up there, but hey, that's typically the case. You get used to shooting with that optic, trying to go and shoot with, maybe we should have shot with the irons first.
I think so.
The most important thing here is, this is a subcompact gun. As most people know, with a gun this small, it's not, you know, typical that people are deadly accurate, especially from this distance. I mean, generally they're within 7 yards, 5 yards sometimes. We are at 15 yards here, and we're hitting an 8-inch steel plate pretty consistently, and with the optic on there, we're hitting it dead center, so really about 4 inches at 15 yards. But the most important thing here is that it has been completely flawless from start to finish. I know Trey said that he liked the gun. I don't know what was biting my finger on that trigger. Did you notice that at all?
I did not.
Well, whatever it was, it doesn't seem to be doing it now. Maybe it's because I'm numb. I'm not totally sure. Like, I can't feel the reset on the trigger because my fingers are so cold. But, hey, you know what? I've heard people say that guns tend to function less reliably when it's cold outside. I know that people said that the Taurus, the G series, will barely even function or won't function at all if it's below 20 degrees or 25 or something like that. So, hey, listen, you got to see it function at 26 degrees with a brisk wind, and it hasn't failed. It's performed flawlessly. I will say that I was a little concerned, you know, having carrying this gun, whether or not concerned, but I was debating whether I would carry it with the 15 rounder or the 12 rounder as far as how I shot with it or how accurate I was or I wasn't with it. But I think what I'm going to do is, because I do really like the overall feel with this 12 rounder in here and this pinky extension I put on it, that I'm just going to carry this in my left pocket, and I'm just going to carry it in the holster with this pinky extension here, because again, it's less likelihood of digging or snagging while you're trying to pull it out. I really, really like the way that feels on there. And so, but as I mentioned in the tabletop, we do have I'm gonna turn the optic back on here because I enjoyed shooting it more with the optic. This is the Holosun 507. Yes, it did flush mount. I don't know if I'm even hitting this thing right because my hands are about to freeze.
That's the 507?
It is a 507, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a 508.
No. The 508T is the one that I put on the, I can't get this thing to turn on.
It's too cold for it to turn on. Because it's made in China.
Don't you be talking no smack about no Hollis.
I'm just not happy you got the gun when I was really wanting that thing. Like, I scoured the internet, couldn't find it nowhere.
Well, what happens is that
I thought it was an ad that popped up, like, oh, you guys get excited because it's coming to the States soon. No, it was G Square Tactical. Done posted a picture of it sitting in someone's living room.
There we go. Anyway, yeah, listen, so Trey, you know, when I get committed, when I get focused on something, like, I won't quit, man. I'll open up 3 or 4 pages of places that I know that are subject to getting that brand, and about every 25 minutes I'll refresh the page, you know, until it says it's on the shelf or in stock. And I just happened to find it in stock, and I'm glad I did. I've never carried, I'll be honest with you, I've never carried a Canik in my life. I have put some on the nightstand, I have put them in the truck before, but I've never personally carried one. I've always said I wish they made more carryable options, and here we go. I couldn't be more impressed with how this thing is functioning today in this cold. I apologize for the video and some of the inconsistencies in it and everything. We really wanted to do better, but this was the only day that we could get to the range today. Trey's having surgery later this week, and I couldn't help that it's freezing. Again, I'm sure we're going to catch grief from the northern boys. Tell us to suck it up. I just can't be. Listen, I'm no more of a China fan than anyone else is, but you know, you got to give credit where credit's due, and I really love these Holosun optics. I mean, we need to do a review just of them in and of themselves. You know,
Yeah. I
really like these things, and that 508T that Trey was talking about, the SFX magazine, it will function. And but anyway, the 508T got the green dot in it. What did we put that on? I just put it on a gun I just purchased. I can't remember what I
That's not very specific. We've gotten a lot of guns this year.
yeah the 508T, anyway,
I'll drop it in the comments.
we put it on something. again, we try to be genuine. Let's warm the thing up a little bit here.
Yeah, put it over the heater.
Let's see if maybe the mag will fall loose and warm it up, you know.
Yeah, good idea.
Uh-oh.
Hey, that's exactly what it was.
Look at that.
There you go.
So, the comment that I made on the tabletop about them falling free, there's a temperature that's associated with that apparently. So, we warmed it up a little bit on the heater, boom, fall right out. So, anyway, I apologize for the inconsistencies in the video and some of the rambling, but we just wanted to get this out to the range today and see if it would function, and it has been absolutely flawless for us at the range today. I could not be more happy about that. We've had some people ask us about reliability of the Canik brand and it not having, you know, the track record of or the history, if you will, of say a Glock or something like that. But you know what, guys, they all had to start somewhere. Someone had to trust that gun in the very beginning, and Trey and I have been advocates of the Canik brand almost since day one of this channel. I mean, we've had a lot of Caniks. In fact, I don't know if this is real or not, but Trey does often make the comment that Canik is his brand. That's his favorite, his go-to. You guys know that mine is CZ, but this is 150 rounds today. After I get these two mags, drop that one. Hey, you know, you got to do a torture test. You got to drop something every now and then.
That's right. That's right.
You know? 150 rounds. It was not cleaned. We're using the Blazer brass ammunition there. I don't know if you can see that feed ramp or not, but it was polished down in here. It was polished real nicely. It's completely black. Again, I promise that I don't have any kind of disease. That's not, it is very cold. I don't know if I've said that enough, but that's the reason I'm shaking. But hey, listen, man, I think this video or this review should be better because we tested it in real world cold out here. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Let's do a little one hand action, you know? Fell right loose. Hey, let's put the SFX magazine in there and let's run them out with 18 rounds of rapid fire. Now, I'm not going to hit a whole lot, just going to shoot it as fast as I possibly can. Again, we couldn't be more happy with this gun. I know I'm not showing it because I'm about to freeze to death, but I'm definitely stoked about how this thing has performed today, how accurate it has been, and I'm glad that I didn't waste $75 buying a holster, because I'm definitely stoked about beginning to carry this gun. Micro compact, very, very comfortable to carry. Gonna run you guys out 18 rounds of rapid fire. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow us over on Rumble, hit the thumbs up, and tell all your friends where they can find good old working man reviews on YouTube. Yes, sir.